go for $1. Grab the iconic Big Mac, Chicken McNuggets, Quarter Pounder with cheese, or Filet-O-Fish only in the McD app. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Live from Augusta, you're watching News 12 at 6 o'clock.
Augusta University looking to stay ahead of the curve and its record growth. We've got some new details coming up on some campus projects.
But first tonight, more family members are weighing in on the story of a missing baby's remains. Just last week, we told you the story of baby Jada Hickman's burial at Hillcrest Cemetery. 22 years after she was buried, her family wanted to exhume her body and cremate her. But the family says when groundskeepers went to the gravesite, they couldn't find anything.
Not even a casket. The cemetery says it was due to the passage of time. As the family continues looking for answers and for their daughter, they're remembering moments from the day they buried their child. Our Sydney Hood reporting it's not the kind of day you would ever forget, right, Sydney?
Not at all, Richard. Her family remembers pretty much every detail of that day, and most importantly, they want you to know about that day, too.
These are the pictures that we took while they were here.
It may not look like a lot,
It was a joyous time.
but to Laverne Hickman,
Oh, it's a treasure.
gold is more like it.
This is the memories that we have of her.
Jada was his first granddaughter,
Only got a chance to spend maybe 3 or 4 days with her at that time.
not knowing the next time he would see her would be in a casket.
The typical funeral burial site, it got a little more emotional, but it was a normal service.
He left Hillcrest Memorial Park that day thinking his granddaughter was in good care. That is, until now.
I'm thinking, this is a mistake because they probably just went to the wrong grave.
Jada's body is nowhere to be found among the hundreds out here.
If that happened, there would be some evidence of something, I would think, part of the casket, shoelaces or something had to be left.
So the question is, where exactly is his granddaughter?
There's got to be a solution to this.
All he wants in the end is to find his granddaughter's body, to have more of her than just pictures.
What I am waiting and hearing is that we have found her, and there is an end to all of this.
The family did file a report with the Richmond County Sheriff's Office. They told me they hope this is one step closer to finding Jada.
Sydney Hood in our newsroom, so the mystery continues.
Just bizarre, and I know a lot of people want to get to the bottom of this. Sydney thinks. We want to send things over now to First Alert Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale on a windy, kind of chilly day. Riley?
More on this coming up in just about 2 minutes.
Thank you, Riley. Augusta University celebrating a new milestone for campus expansion today with the groundbreaking of a brand new parking deck. Crews already out working today on the plot of land on the Health Sciences campus. And all this comes as AU continues to see some record growth. Craig Allison live from that construction site with how today is a sign of some growth to come.
This space will provide more than 1,300 new parking spots for staff and students, something AU says will increase parking capacity by 60%, addressing a big issue that's slowing down students from making it to the classroom.
Right off of Laney Walker Boulevard, cars move round and round, looking for a spot in this AU parking lot that's not even on campus. Some giving up entirely and leaving to look elsewhere.
I came up to it and I saw people going in and I was like, oh, there's probably not going to be parking. I got really lucky.
Luz Riviera found out the hard way last semester when she started attending AU.
Wasn't aware that I had to get here super early to get a parking spot, but I completely missed my class because I could not find a spot at all.
But with more than 10,500 students and hopes to hit 16,000 by the end of the decade, President Dr. Brooks Keel acknowledges more people means more needs.
This parking deck is just one of those. We need new dormitories, we know that. We need new dining facilities, we know that too. We're working hard to try to stay in front of all those students that are coming in. So this is just the first step of what I hope will be many such improvements as we move ahead.
A growing student population with added growing pains. Parking decks on campus are so full, it pushes students across the tracks here at R.A. Dent Boulevard in hopes to find another spot.
And it's just crazy that we have to pay $50 each semester just for us to not have enough parking.
Yeah.
each semester.
And it's like every time we get here, it's like other people are at school too. So we're kind of fighting with hoping people are getting out of class to like, give us a spot, but we're usually just riding in circles.
But with this new project, there's some hope for relief.
This happening is like a good sign that Augusta University actually listens to us, and we're just really excited for the parking decks. That's one less thing off of our plate of things to do.
For the time being, we'll have to see how this new project fares with student life and parking when it opens up in spring of 2025. In Augusta, Craig Allison on your side.
Huge need there. They cannot get it built soon enough, and a huge frustration for those students. So it's going to be good news when it finally opens up. Craig, thank you.
Lack of transparency and failure to cooperate with the investigation are the words the Administrative Court of Georgia used to describe Augusta's former mayor. A judge found Hardy Davis guilty of several ethics violations last month, including failing to report campaign contributions in a timely manner and failing to identify charges made on a campaign credit card. Davis argued a significant penalty would be an undue hardship and told the court the investigation has made it hard for him to get another job. The administrative court ordered Davis to pay $16,900 in civil penalties. The court added Hardy Davis needs to pay the fines from his own pocket and not from campaign or government money. The family of Jamila Smith continues to seek answers as the death investigation continues after she disappeared in December. Last year, the search for Jamila turned into a homicide case. Her ex-boyfriend, Daniel Harmon, is in custody charged with murder, kidnapping, and other drug charges. Arrest warrants show that on December 2nd, Jamila's last phone call to 911 mentioning her ex-boyfriend allegedly breaking into her house, screaming, and eventually being run over before the end of the call. The next day, her family reported her missing. As law enforcement continues their investigation, they do not believe Jamila is alive. A family member says the past few months have been difficult for the family and especially Smith's children.
It's been hard, it's been hard for her two beautiful kids. It's been hard for the grandmother. It's been hard. It's not easy, No child wants to feel like they've been abandoned, by their mother. They know their mother, they love their mother. They know that their mother would never leave them unless it was by force or somebody else's choice.
As investigators continue to look for clues, the Aiken County Sheriff's Office is asking anyone with information to reach out.
A Grovetown veteran arrested in September, charged with child pornography, was denied bond again today. The investigators say they found 19 different devices with more than 100,000 files of child porn, and now the charges have been upgraded. The defense arguing Eric Longacre's military background and clean record should warrant bond, but Judge Fleming disagreed.
All students and staff at Payne College have to wear a mask on campus for the foreseeable future. The campus was shut down today after a rise in COVID cases at the school. A note sent to students and school leaders said that closure was out of an abundance of caution, but we're still working to learn exactly how many cases have impacted the campus to warrant such a response.
North Augusta City leaders expected to give an update on Riverside Village this evening. In recent months, several plans started picking up some traction for this new development, like adding more seating to the Sharon Jones Amphitheater, a new boat dock there on the Savannah River, and restrooms for those who visit the area and walk along the Greenway. That meeting started right at the top of the hour. We are listening in. We'll update you as we learn more about those plans. The city of Thompson celebrating a new police chief this evening. Just a couple of hours ago, Chief Daniel Carrier was sworn in and took the reins. Chief Carrier has worked in law enforcement since 1996 and previously worked for the Richmond County Sheriff's Office.
Yeah, as chief of police, I look to do things for Thompson. I look to do some great things. I look to make Thompson safer, better, and my door is always open. Feel free to come in.
Chief Carrier follows Courtney Gale, Thompson's first female police chief. In December, she announced she was leaving to become chief over in Watkinsville.
In need of a hair trim or maybe a fresh start altogether? Next on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we're sitting down with a man who's helping others take on a new lease on life.
And it's going to be a cold night, down near freezing, but temperatures later into the week will be warming right back up. We'll have that forecast just after the break.
Time and temp, brought to you by Janie
Warmer for Groundhog Day Friday, and they're going to have to watch out for some rain showing up Sunday.
All right, thanks, Riley. A new barbershop in Augusta is opening their doors to help those who are less fortunate.
Will Volk introduces us to the owner who says he's seen how haircuts can change lives.
When I opened up my shop, I always said to myself that I have to give back in some kind of way.
Last year, the Michael Collier opened his shop fresh starts. It's an appropriate name when you see what he does.
Everyone goes through things, right? And knowing that everyone goes through things, I know that my haircut at the very end of the day is going to make that person feel a lot better than the way they walked in.
He knows everyone isn't able to afford a haircut. That's why Collier has partnered with a nonprofit to help give free haircuts to people experiencing homelessness. He also gives discount haircuts to kids who are less fortunate and kids who get all A's and B's.
Yes, for me, it is a loss. It may just be a loss of time and in certain cases, a loss of money. However, I don't think about that part because it's not the important part to me.
It's about helping everyone in his hometown, no matter who they are, get a fresh start. After more than 2 decades cutting hair, Collier knows what kind of difference a fresh cut can make.
To know that my haircut had something to do with the betterment of their soul, that right there is a treasure to me.
In Augusta, Willville, on your side.
By the way, Collier's shop is on Laney Walker Boulevard in Augusta, not far from A.R. Johnson.
If you're interested in keeping up with him, we have a link to his Instagram on our website.
Doing great work out there for a lot of people. The North Augusta wrestling team gearing up for the postseason there, and they're riding a lot of momentum right now. We're going to hear from the Yellow Jackets next in sports.
First Alert Radar, powered by Jim Hudson Automotive Group. On your sideline, sports brought to you by the Hawk Law Group.
There are a lot of college sports fans all around the CSRA, and over the past few years, the Green Jackets have been getting in on all that fun by hosting their annual SRP Park College Showcase. For the fourth time in this rivalry, the Georgia Bulldogs will go head-to-head with the Georgia Southern Eagles on March 5th at SRP Park. The passion for these two schools can be seen, felt, and heard everywhere you go, and playing at SRP Park is becoming an annual tradition. Dating back to their first meeting in 1990, the Dogs have the edge in this overall series, but Richard's Georgia Southern Eagles have won 2 out of the 3 games that were played at SRP Park. When it comes to the team that calls SRP Park home, the Green Jackets have announced their coaching staff for the 2024 season. First-time manager Winston Sawyer will be leading the way. Opening day for the Jackets is scheduled for April 5th against the Columbia Fireflies at SRP. In other minor league baseball news, the Mississippi Braves have announced they're relocating to Columbus, Georgia. The Braves AA affiliate is expected to start playing games at South Commons Golden Park at the start of the 2025 season. The $50 million investment greenlit by the Columbus City Council will go towards field renovations and possible downtown development. Minor League Baseball will now be played at the same complex where the GHSA hosts their annual state tournament for softball every year. Back on the home front, the North Augusta wrestling team is gearing up for the playoffs as the #1 seed. Alyssa Lyons caught up with the Yellow Jackets, who are pursuing their first state title.
Head down, all right, move to the left.
Head coach Matt Franklin has been outside the circle for the last 8 years.
Catch him, Nathan. And watching it grow over these 8 years, it's just, it does my heart good because, I'm from Pennsylvania originally and grew up wrestling. I got to whip him and turn at the same time. We got to put it in his pocket, y'all.
Each season different than the last. This season becoming one to remember.
The kids are buying into our program and they're staying.
The Jackets didn't make state duels a year ago or the one before that. They were at the bottom.
It feels like somebody's giving up somewhere. Like the extra effort that needed to be put in wasn't there.
Until they decided to flip it. A winless program that only had room for winning.
Coming that far from winning none to losing none in such a short period of time, it feels really good. I won't lie. It feels pretty great.
The Jackets rolled their way into their first region title.
It just feels good. Like it's one of those things. It's like you can't believe it happened, but it did.
A team that hasn't felt like #1 is #1, finally headed to state. In North Augusta, Alyssa Lyons on your side.
Thank you, Alyssa. After all that hard work to get to the top of the standings, the Jackets have earned a first-round bye in the playoffs.
All right, thanks for that, Dan. Remember, heading out to the bus stop, it's going to be cold out there tomorrow morning, so you will need that winter coat again after a warm week last week. I'm going to look at the 7-day for you just after the break.
I'm Chip Lewis with 64 Insurance Group. The Medicare enrollment process can be overwhelming. Let us take that burden off your shoulders. We're local, and we're here to help. Don't wait until you're 65 to call. AreYou64.com.
I like the idea that we
Never took you for a mariachi guy.
Really not a huge fan, but seems to be all of us do these days. AreYou64.com.
Who are you talking to?
All new on News 12 at 6 o'clock. A new location of an upscale brunch spot coming to town this spring. Another Broken Egg Cafe is coming to Kroger on Alexander Drive. The company sends these photos to show hopefully what it'll look like. I hope it looks just like that.
Yeah, picture
Looks
perfect
pretty
right
good.
there. The brunch spot is known for its famous French toast and fancy sandwiches like you see there. They also serve handcrafted cocktails you can enjoy there at the bar. It's that new building right next to Kroger. You probably pass by it, and that's what it's going to be.
That's what it's going to be.
That's what it is.
Another broken egg.
Another broken egg.
Looking very good and very tasty stuff by the pictures, by the looks of it. Hey, we got a nice look at sunset from some of our tower cams across the area. So in Augusta to Aiken, all the way up at the lake, just a beautiful end to our Monday. Temperatures are cooling off pretty quick. We've already cooled off several more degrees here around town. So getting close to the 50 mark and most likely spending a lot of our evening in the 40s. For tomorrow, we're going to bring back plenty of sunshine. The rain you're seeing Wednesday, that's going to be out of here before sunrise Wednesday morning. So that's going to be falling when a lot of us are asleep Tuesday night. And then the rest of the week does stay dry. We're not really tracking much in the way of rainfall until we get to Sunday. So for weekend plans, Saturday does look dry.
Our next live update comes at 7 o'clock on 26 News.
Then we're back with more News 12 tonight at 11. We'll see you there. At the CBS Evening News, we focus on solutions, finding solutions to help people understand what are the right choices to make for you and your family.
The BrandsMart Bulls